Family disputes can make us feel isolated and vulnerable. Maybe you're going through a divorce or a legal dispute about your kids. Perhaps you've spent hours on Google or have even posted anonymously on Facebook to see what others have to say. But are you getting the actual information and support that you're looking for? Our podcast, Legal Lounge, aims to dispel misinformation and downright bad legal information to empower anyone with questions about their family, their children, their finances, their marriage, and the law. As a team focused exclusively on family law matters, we aim to help listeners not only with the information they need, but also with the hope that their situation has a solution. Short disclaimer, please note this podcast is for educational purposes only, and the information should not be relied upon as legal advice or for legal purposes. Well, hi again. This is Teresa Vieira, attorney and founder of Modern Legal, and welcome to the Legal Lounge. I'm here with my friend Maria.
Hi, Teresa. I'm so excited to be here. I love being here today, and I can't wait for us to have this conversation.
So, Maria, what is it that you do? Because you're not a member of the Modern Legal team, so you're not an attorney.
No,
What are
I am
you?
not an attorney. I am a certified divorce financial analyst. I'm the founder at Ever After Wealth, which is a divorce financial planning firm. And what we do is basically help individuals understand the finances of the divorce, the potential effects of whatever decisions they make, what exactly is there to be divided, what is better for them. And we support them and their attorneys and all of their divorce team so they can make the best decisions.
And so CDFA for short.
Yes.
You're not a financial advisor, though.
No, I am not a financial advisor. I was a financial advisor. I worked in Merrill Lynch for a while, but I decided to be just a true CDFA, which is a certified divorce financial analyst. So basically what I can do is I help them understand the marital state and the potential divisions and tax consequences and everything else, but I don't give investment advice. I don't sell financial products. We do not sell life insurance products. We do true financial divorce. We resolve the financial divorce problems, if you will, and help them understand what that means and all of the division and all of the potential options they have as they're going through this process. They will need a financial advisor afterwards, if you will, because they need someone to obviously help them with everything else that happens financially. But I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. So you might mention, you should check into life insurance, but you don't sell it yourself.
Absolutely not. Like when we come up with a plan and when we have a settlement and we realize that they need potentially life insurance, which is one of the biggest needs after the process is done, I will definitely connect them with someone that I trust that they can sell them the life insurance, or someone that they can open the accounts they're going to need in order to transfer the assets, help them to secure a loan if they need to refinance the house. But I don't do any of those little aspects as you move forward with the process.
So as a related divorce professional, you really are that financial brain, if you will, on behalf of the client through the divorce process itself.
Correct. Because in reality, the world of finance has the rules of finance, right? And you have the rules of the accounts or the life insurance, or you buy products. But when you're going through a divorce, first of all, you can't really make those big changes, right, to your finances.
Yeah.
Everything is like static until there's a resolution. And see which assets you're going to get, which debts you're going to get, what is going to happen with the house, what are we going to do with the retirement account. So during that process, there's a lot of consequences, especially tax consequences. When you create that division, you're dividing these financial accounts, taking into consideration the law, right?
Yeah.
So that's all you can do, these divisions. Those divisions have consequences. So what I do is explain the consequences and help them understand what they need.
Yeah.
Financially, can you afford to keep the house? Can you refinance the house? Is it better for you to keep an IRA or a retirement account, a 401k? Do you want to keep the investment account? What is the tax consequences to keeping one and not the other? So all those things in itself is a big problem. It has to be resolved. Now, once you resolve this portion, then you can go into the financial advisor and the wealth manager or the broker that sells your life insurance to help you move on.
Yeah.
So this is just very specific to this process. It's like a very specific moment in time, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're dividing. This is all we can do right now. We can't go and change investments. We cannot go and buy different financial products. You just can't.
Yeah.
So yes, it's just that like that period of time.
Yeah.
That's when I come in.
And would you say, a financial advisor can wear the same hat as a CDFA, or is there like a conflict there? How does that work?
Okay, so there is a conflict. There is a very specific conflict of interest. So when you're studying for the certification, like I did, one of the biggest things they tell you is that you cannot operate as both at the same time. You either are a CDFA and operate in the divorce realm, or you are a financial advisor and help with the investments or potentially selling life insurance or any other financial products. The idea of the conflict comes because, for example, if I have a client that has certain retirement accounts, if I'm a financial advisor and I start thinking about how am I going to manage those funds after this divorce is finalized, I'm not really acting as a CDFA because perhaps that was not a good idea for my client at the time to get that specific account. Maybe they need a different account. Maybe it's not a good idea for them to just sell the house and keep a retirement account, but we're trying to figure out where they're going to live afterwards. So every person has a specific set of circumstances. And when you're trying to divide everything because of a divorce, you need someone that helps you to divide this according to your needs.
Yeah.
If I'm operating as a CDFA and a financial advisor, I can have the best intentions. And I'm sure that there's a lot of financial advisors that they do the double work, they have the best intentions. But I think it will be very hard.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I want to avoid the appearance of me telling a client, you should get this retirement account. You should get these assets and start investing them for your future. But it's not because I am going to be investing those for you because I'm going to really benefit. I am really not going to benefit from anything. This is just about you and my client.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more about an appearance of the conflict. But in reality, yes, there's a conflict and you're not supposed to operate as both at the same time. The other thing is a little bit like dabbling into something, right?
Yeah.
I am a true CDFA. This is all I do.
Yeah.
This is my bread and butter. This is what I do. This is what I breathe 24 hours a day. This is all I do. So I don't have to take time from my clients that are going through such a difficult process and overwhelming to start trying to adjust investment for another client. Because that's something you had to do quarterly if you're a financial advisor, and you had to look into the needs of someone else that is not going through a divorce, that is actually need help with the money you're managing for them.
Yeah.
So me, I don't. So I just do this, and I don't dabble into this. It's very important that people understand that you should have the difference. You have to be very clear about the difference of what the advisor is doing for you. Is it CDFA work or is it financial advisor? As a wealth manager? Is that being separated?
Yeah.
Is it like you have to be very careful with that because there is a conflict and they tell you cannot operate as both.
Yeah.
Technically. So
technically, yeah.
Yes.
There's no conversation more romantic than discussing a prenup with your partner, right? Okay, maybe the song for your first dance does a bit more in the romance department. Speaking of emotions, though, the prenup is a very legal document that everyone has a very emotional reaction to. Many people avoid the prenup conversation because they feel it is an indication that the marriage will fail. But here's the truth. Half of all marriages already fail, regardless of whether the spouses had the prenup conversation or not. If you or someone you care about is getting married, would knowing what marriage involves legally be important? What about having the difficult conversations surrounding finances, career aspirations, and pursuing parenthood prior to the wedding date? If you are looking to build a solid foundation for your marriage, or you want the same for someone you care about, we are here to help you learn more about prenups from a position of knowledge, not emotion. To learn more about family law from a legal professional, book a consultation with a member of the Modern Legal team by visiting our website, emailing us, or calling us at 704-286-6302. Check out the information about Modern Legal services at modernlegalnc.com. Obviously, I'm a family law attorney and a mediator, but to your point, we are part of those professionals that come into action when parties are going through a family law dispute. And in our realm, in our discussion, I should say, it's very much the divorce. So we're kind of like that bubble, that divorce professionals bubble that helps a client through the separation process, through the divorce process, through all the financial ramifications of that. Because that's a lot. I mean, I can't think of many instances in a person's life where more financial decisions are being made at one time that have a great impact on their lives.
It's for the rest of their lives. Like everything they decide through the divorce, it really affects them for the rest, and their kids, their families. It affects everything. And you are correct. We are like a very little world where with these problems, this happens, and you have to resolve all those things, and you have the emotions, and you have what the money is and the law, and you bring into the finances. So I think that's very important. I have a client. I was talking to her the other day. She has a financial advisor, wealth manager. And they called him and said, hey, by the way, don't do anything. We're going through a divorce. Oh, don't worry. I can start separating the accounts. I can open your accounts. We put 50-50. That's it. And I was like, what?
Wait, don't do that.
Don't do that. Please don't do that. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out. And I'm like, no. He said, well, but he said he understand because he didn't understand what the divorce was. And no, he doesn't. He's not a CDFA, but also he just doing that is just not good.
Yeah.
It's just
wait until the divorce professionals actually come in, help the client
help
through
you
it.
understand. If at the end of the day that's what you are going to end up with, great. But you don't know. We don't know that because we don't really know where this account came from. Maybe you have this account before you got married. That you have a question there for an attorney. Is this marital or not? Is it going to be divided or not? How are we going to calculate whether it's half or what is half? Right? The half that has to be divided.
It's so true. I love when you say that because as a CDFA, and this is why I think CDFAs and family law attorneys that do a lot of divorce and property distributions and spouse support issues work together so well 100%. Because you understand 50% of the marital portion of an account is very different than, say, half of the amount on the balance sheet or on the
100%.
Statement.
Yes, 100%. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that part.
Yeah.
And it's hard. But I will tell you this. I do feel that a lot of times it's because of the lack of the information because, well, I work on the legal side of divorce, right, for 15 years. Yeah. So I know exactly what it means. I can't give legal advice, but if someone comes with an account and for some reason they say, well, I opened this 20 years ago, but I've been married 15 years, there's this light bulb that is going to come up in my head. I was like, oh, okay, this is something else we had to look. Let's look at the numbers and then let's talk to the attorney.
Yep.
So then we can figure it out which portion, and then I can do the calculations because I do understand. But a lot of people don't know.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of people don't realize
things. Right.
What is actually involved or not involved. And go one step further, there's a lot of misinformation out there. I feel the mutual frustration of so much bad information out there. And I can't stress enough how bad I feel when I see something has been done or say an agreement signed or even an order entered because the judge didn't know all the factors when they were issuing an order that substantially impacts the financial situation. Yeah. It could be the wrong child support number being ordered and someone paying too much or too little. Or to your point, it could be a 50-50 distribution of the retirement accounts when a portion of that was actually separate property.
Yeah.
And if it's separate property, by the way, that's not subject to distribution.
Right. By the way.
Disclaimer. Public announcement.
Well, I think that oh my God, and I feel the same way you do because I feel the same way as far as the finances of the divorce. You know, you see people giving advice to people or say, oh, this is how it goes and this is how it happened to me and this is how it should be. And I'm like, no.
Blanket, no.
Like the answer really is no. And please look to for a professional. Look to talk to a professional. Ask the right questions from a professional. And I do understand there's a cost involved, right? Because of course, you know, you had to pay an attorney, you had to pay a CDFA. What I always tell them, I said, well, that's too expensive. I can't afford it. I said, you cannot afford not to hire me.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that may be left on the table. Like very very simple things, right? Like I have a client with a budget, and then my question was, oh, okay, well, do you look into your insurance? Because once your divorce is final, you're gonna have to get new health insurance. We need to know the cost because right now it's paid by your husband's company, and their eyes go like, oh, right. Nobody thinks about that.
Yeah.
So there's so many little things that people don't think about that it's our job to bring.
Yep.
You know, like if it's something is separate or not, or how to understand a budget, or what do you want to be saving for? And asking a friend of a friend because the friend of the cousin of the mother, like this is what they did.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe it was for them because their circumstances are like, and there's no one case just like the other.
Exactly.
Every single divorce, even if you say same marriage length, same amount of kids, same ages, same income bracket, same marital estate size, is not the same.
Still not the same.
It's 100% not the same, regardless. So I think it's very important that people understand, go to the professional, ask the questions. You deserve to have those questions answered.
Yeah.
But also go to the experts. Like I always tell my clients, okay, you need to find an attorney that is not the real estate attorney that have been handle your rentals for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
That attorney is not a divorce attorney.
Yep.
It's a real estate attorney.
Yep.
Right? You need a divorce attorney.
Yep.
Your financial advisor is not your CDFA.
Yeah.
You need to find your CDFA. Like everyone has their little hats that they wear. We can all work as a team, but you cannot seek a legal advice on the divorce from the real estate attorney.
Yep.
And what I usually tell them is, okay, if you have a problem with your heart, are you going to go to your dermatologist and tell them to do surgery?
Exactly.
Your heart surgery?
Exactly.
No, you're not.
Brain surgery versus
heart
surgery.
Like there's a reason why there's experts and everyone has an expertise.
Yeah.
And I think that is very important, but mostly is do not Google.
Yep.
Or Google, but just get an idea of things and write down questions.
Also check what resources are you using on Google.
Oh my God,
because
yes.
if you're Googling Reddit questions or you're Googling Facebook questions, that's very different than you Google something and it happens to be a blog on a law firm's website. Right?
100%.
Or say your website. It's just information that's very different. I can't tell you how often I'll read something on a Facebook post.
yes.
I feel like I vented to you before on this. And first off, the question, it's a valid question. It comes from a position of concern and really wanting to get help.
Right.
But the question may not be asked the right way.
Correct.
And then the responses, oh my goodness, 99.9% of them are just wrong.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
They're all wrong. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you don't need a prenup, just get a postnup. Different sets of laws apply. Child support, just go to the website, you can Google the North Carolina Child Support Guideline calculator, right?
You could.
But there's a lot of numbers that go in there, and the numbers are determined based on the law, not on your math. Right?
Yes. Not only that, and there's you had to learn all the guidelines because it's not just the worksheet.
Yes.
Right. And then the whole, how many nights the kid spends, it depends. Like, and whether it's worksheet B or worksheet C. And, and if they pay for all the insurance. So we put all the number. No, it's the kid's insurance because this is, you're calculating child support. Like there's so many things that, yes. And I understand it's hard. And I understand the need to do it yourself a lot of the times because you want to save money because you feel like, and it's not because people are not smart. It's not, I have a lot of clients that are business owners. They're super smart. They just cannot figure out the finances of divorce. Mm-hmm. There's a reason we're experts. There's a reason you went to law school all those years and you decided to specialize. And then you continue to study, to learn the new laws, to learn new techniques, everything that they need. I do the same thing. I'm required to continue to do continuing education. I learn things. I had an argument with a CPA a couple of weeks ago about paying taxes and alimony.
Yeah.
And I explained everything changed 2018. No, they don't. It's not taxed. But they keep arguing with me. Yeah. And they keep telling that to my client. And then my client is talking to one of their trustworthy team members, which is a CPA that has been doing their taxes for a long time, and the CDFA.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I did tell my client, I said, okay, well, I am the certified divorce financial analyst. I've been working in the divorce world for 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't know
either
what else
trust
to
me or
tell you.
don't.
You
Yeah.
trust me, you don't trust me, or you
Yeah.
want to try to CPA, it's okay. But I'm telling you, no.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I send ask your attorney because,
It all
that may
comes
work.
back to the law.
But yes, it's
Yeah.
the Facebook questions also drive me crazy.
Yeah.
The answers more than the questions.
Yeah,
the questions
more-
are valid.
yeah, more
People
than the
really need
questions.
information. But I do think, but it's at the same time, if someone asks for, I'm going through a divorce, we have a lot of accounts, I think I need a CPA. Are you doing taxes? Because the
It's
question
true, 'cause
was
that's
about
what a CPA is
divorce.
for, right? An accountant's
Right.
for,
And
yeah.
unless you need a forensic accountant that is very, just a whole different
Yeah.
level,
Yep.
which you might need it, but the forensic accountant is not a CDFA.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
we do things that
Yeah.
are very different. And
Yeah.
whatever they
Yeah.
do, I'll take it on. And then we come out with something.
And go one step further. Yeah, you may have the same CPA like that
Oh,
you've
that's it.
used for years.
Together.
Okay, great.
Both of you.
Yeah, and you know what? If you want to continue to use that one, or maybe
100%.
there's a conflict, whatever it is, but you relied on them for tax advice.
Yes.
Problem is not everyone goes through a divorce.
Right.
And there are a set of divorce professionals, you and I being a few of them,
Right.
that know this bubble more so than anyone else.
And that's the biggest thing is who are the experts?
Yeah.
If someone is doing this every single day,
Yeah.
all of the time,
Yeah.
it's a matter of the time you're doing it. You know more.
Yeah.
You know more, you know the details, you know the differences.
Yeah.
You probably have dealt with different kind of situations and problems, so you will understand whatever situation it comes up to. And someone that does it once in a while because one of their is if a CPA is one of their clients is going through a divorce, it's not the same.
No.
Because also it depends how that particular divorce went.
Yeah.
Was it litigated? Maybe it was something that it wasn't allowed to divide, and maybe everybody went their own way with no problems. Or I think that makes a lot of difference. Bottom line is talk to the experts, and I will definitely do my research.
Yeah.
When we're looking and talking to the actual experts.
Yeah. The professionals in the realm that
Yes.
have been trained over and over and time again, not only in, say, a classroom setting, but working on actual cases. And to your point, like you stated earlier, no two cases are the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not really what I'm saying. I'm saying the fact that there are similarities, we can use that as a basis for what we can expect in a courtroom.
Right.
Go one step further. When you're in front of a judge, the judge may not have that much experience in family law, or maybe their past rulings have shown certain tendencies. And guess who sees those tendencies? It's the divorce professionals that have dealt with the cases that are in front of those judges.
Correct.
In that county or in that state, in that jurisdiction. And it always blows my mind, if you will, when people give so much advice. And I understand it is from a good place of the heart. It is well-intentioned. But I can't stress how negatively that can impact a case when, say, a client of mine is saying, well, so-and-so said X. And I'm like, are they your family law attorney? At the end of the day, my client, they're the ones who are driving this ship. I'm their navigator. I'm here to help them. I'm here to say, hey, turn the wheel left or right. But at the end of the day, if my client wants to turn the wheel right, even though I'm saying turn left, and I, do a CYA letter saying, hey, I advise the other direction.
Right. Just be clear.
Just to be clear. It still has those repercussions that you and I may see as the divorce professionals that our clients may not see until the negative impact, the negative consequence has occurred. Yeah. And my heart goes out to them because I'm like, well, if you listen to me, but don't listen to your attorney.
Is their life. I always tell my clients, you pay me a lot of money not to at least listen.
Yeah.
Okay, at least listen to what I'm trying to say, trying to get a better understanding. But to your point, yes, I feel like it's important for people to understand that once you get this experience day after day, week after week, and then you one day wake up and you're doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
There's very few situations you don't encounter and things that you don't know how to handle. But as far as the court, I'm telling you, you are 100% right, because there's tendencies in the courtroom, and when you're there all the time, you see it. You see what a judge may look into, what the judge may or not believe, how open will be the judge to a certain situation or certain things, and it will be important for people to understand that there's a reason why we all know this.
Yeah,
because we've been doing it,
yeah.
And I understand that you may feel that your case is special, like it will be different.
Yeah.
It is for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It is
not,
for
it's
you.
not for the judge.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not for the judge. I have a lot of people that I want to go to court because I want the judge to see, and he should pay me for. I'm like, well, this is not really a TV show.
Yeah.
You're not going to have this aha moment. Yay, the judge saw it. And you're like, yes, you did it. No, it's not going to happen. It never happens.
It never happens.
It's not going to be like that. Everybody's going to be unhappy. And you will not get the time that you feel that you deserve.
Yeah.
You will get that from your professionals that are trying to help you.
Yeah.
But you're not getting it in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to the courtroom, you will be very smart to listen to those professionals that are in the courtroom all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that they know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or how it could go. Like you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But there's no
can't
guarantee.
predict 100%, but you can say, it'll be between these boundaries, or
right.
you have, and it's interesting because, I'm not just making this up, by the way. Like, it's based on experience. It's based on knowledge. It's based on teachings that I've, all the continuing legal education courses we go through. Go one step further, especially here in Mecklenburg County. I think we have a really good community of family law attorneys and professionals that we bounce ideas off each other and we say, how do you think this will go? I don't know if that'll go well. And every once in a while you have that surprising case that goes a little bit differently than you expected, but at 99% of the time definitely does not go the way that the client had hoped or wished for. Because guess what? There's no winning in family law.
There is no winning in family law. That's absolutely correct. There is no winning. And I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
And that's when I talk to my clients, I'm like, okay, let's figure out what is out there, what has to be divided, and try to find the best decision, the best settlement for you. Mm-hmm. The best decision for you, the fair decision, and the decision you feel comfortable with. Mm-hmm. If you go to court, that's not going to happen. And it's going to be whatever the judge wants to do and decides. And you can try it, right? You have very good attorneys. Everybody's prepared. You bring your experts. We testify and we try the best. But then at the end of the day, the judge is going to do what the judge wants to do. Mm-hmm. So I think that's very important. Which takes me to the other thing, because somebody posted the other day, somebody wanted a referral for a bulldog attorney that always wins. And I said it there. I'm like, comment. Okay, that is so subjective. First, that is a bulldog attorney that always wins. What does that mean? Yeah. That wins at what? Because I always tell myself, well, there is always a side that if somebody wins, the other one loses. So who are you going to ask? Yeah. The person that lost to that attorney? The person that won? Nobody wins anyway. But those questions are so misleading. Like a bulldog attorney that always wins. I say you need an attorney that is a good attorney, that has a lot of experience, and he's going to try to do the best for you. Yeah. That's how you look for an attorney. Yep. So if you want to ask for a referral, that's what you ask for. But going into this mindset of, I need a bulldog attorney. To do what? Yeah. Because you're already fighting. Yeah. And you don't want it to make it worse. And you may be just letting go, because there's a lot of attorneys that probably will fit that description of the bulldog attorney. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's the best attorney.
Well, and I'll go one step further on that. I think that maybe bulldog is not the term, but if someone wants an aggressive attorney that's willing to go to the ends of the earth to fight for their cause, I've been caught in that situation, and I will challenge the status quo of the legal system. Right. Have I quote unquote won every time? Not necessarily. Have I won before? Definitely. I'm a good attorney, not gonna lie. Right. But on the flip side, was that what was best for my client and their family? Because 99% of the time, even in domestic violence and high abuse cases, I can't sit here and say the courtroom is the best place to resolve those cases. I really can't. And I am here as an advocate for families to do what's best for the family, not for my billable hour, not for revenue, not for the courts and for judges to make certain rulings. I am here with my client and their family as the priority, their children as the priority. And not every attorney does that. So it depends on whether or not you want the attorney that, will be aggressive in the sense of, just filing motion after motion after motion. Or do you want the attorney that actually helps you, through the process? If we have to go to court, we go to court. But there's so many other tools out there that can be utilized from a legal perspective to do what's best for the family.
100%. And that's what it's supposed to be. I want an attorney that is going to fight for me. How is that fighting looks like? It doesn't mean like going on the ring and going to court. There's a lot of ways to do that. And I think that is the big misrepresentation. I have a lot of clients that come to me after they've been working with an attorney for a year or two. And I'm sitting there and asking, okay, and what happened in these 2 years? They have no idea what happened. They know they're spending a lot of money in the attorneys. And of course, at that time, they're very worried about leaving the attorney, right? They don't want to switch because, they've been, and in the reality, and I say this, and CDFAs, we're very new to this. Not everybody knows about us, and everyone should have a CDFA. If you have a certain amount of properties or assets that you have to divide, you should have a CDFA every single time, the same way you should have always an attorney. Like, there's no way you can do that without them. But the problem is that the attorney is not God. And you should feel comfortable. If you have an attorney that is paying all this money to ask the questions and get the answers.
Yes.
And feel they're representing you. But when I come to people and they are like, oh, I don't know, but I don't want to switch. And I don't want my attorney to get upset. I don't know if I should hire you because my attorney is going to get upset. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Why is your attorney getting upset about you getting all the support you need?
Yeah.
That is a problem to me.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of attorneys out there. And again, I work on the legal side for 15 years, so I know them and I see them from the distance. I can tell. And it's just very hard because sometimes people, because they're overwhelmed, and an attorney is a lifesaver, right? It's like, okay, they're keeping me afloat. They're telling me what I want to hear. It's going to end one day. It's been 2 years, but one day it's going to end. But we keep going. And I think that is a problem too.
Yeah.
Because then you have the person that had a great experience with that attorney.
Yeah.
And they are referring this attorney to everyone, but that may not be the right attorney for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to tell people, I know. I've told prospective clients in my consults, I'm like, finding the right attorney is like shopping for shoes. Just because it's in the right shoe size does not mean that attorney fits your needs.
100%. And the same thing with me. I'm not there to help everyone.
Yeah.
But that's why I have a call. I said, okay, let's talk first and see if we can work together or not. Yeah. But I agree. It depends on you. It depends on the family. It depends on your circumstances. It really depends on what is exactly that you need.
Yeah.
Then you talk to this professional and try to understand whether they can give that to you.
Yeah.
And and do this with your family's best interest at heart. It's not about the billable hours. It's about how are you going to be better off when you're done with this horrible, life-changing situation. Yeah. Right?
So finding the proper and most fitting divorce professionals is key.
100%. And you cannot do it without them.
Yep. Agreed.
You have to do it with them. Yes.
Well, thank you, Maria,
for
joining me.
Can I come back? Lounge. I want to come back.
I think you'll be back. I love talking with you.
You too.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We will see you soon. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our discussion. To learn more about me and the Modern Legal team, go to our website, modernlegalnc.com. Or check out the links in our show notes to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can also call us at 704-286-6302. If you have been intrigued by the conversation and would like us to continue our discussions, please subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. See you next time.